Okay, family. I knew a day will come where I was gonna do an F video, and I think today's the day. I'm gonna try and be as respectful as possible, but I cannot promise that. Sorry for the tune. That was a bad idea, man. But I need to. You get me? Let me put these away. You see, Spack Nation, yeah. Spack Nation is everything we ever dreamed of. Spack Nation is everything we ever wanted. This video, yeah, is gonna be about hardcore blackness. Yeah, so I'm just putting it out there. I'm talking about black people, black business, black. Okay, so cut it out if you're coming to say, oh, but it's not only, yeah, I know that, but in this video, we're talking black people. You see, us black people, yeah, a lot of us, our parents, anyway, my age group, yeah, I can't talk about the younger lot, like our youths, yeah, cool, they got us, but us, most of our parents came from overseas to this land and then started doing their thing. And so because of that, no matter what, there's always been a little slight rift between us because how we were both raised is different. Now you have to remember, regardless, because of age, there's always going to be a rift. You're older, I'm younger. How you see things is different from how I see things. So when you start slapping on different culture and all these things, you just thicken the layer. Okay? Thicken the layer. So yeah, why English children or whatever, I'm not saying all of them just get on with their parents kumbaya, but the layers to their wall, you get me, is one or two down. One or two down. At least they were all here together under the same regime, raised under a similar regime. So cool. They get it a bit more. So we always have that consistent thing with our parents. My way, your way, Western way, African way, Caribbean way, whatever. And then we'll slap on religion on top of that. 80% of us come from a religious background. Simple. So that's another feature. Because you may go to other races' home and they'll say, yeah, okay, I have the good tips with my mom, but religion and all that ain't one of them. So that's another layer they're not really dealing with. So now we got these layers, culture, religion, boom. We're all living together in one home, trying to abide in peace. It's not always peaceful. We know that. Even if we try, it's not always peaceful. So then we add in the church. When it comes to the church now, most of us is sort of like, get up, we're going. Cool, we'll follow you, yeah? And then we get there and the church ain't really on what we're on either. So now we're sitting in church and we're just like, okay. We go through seasons where we may force it a bit like, okay, all right, I'm going to get engaged. I'm going to try my thing. But usually it withers off because the thing just ain't built for our thing. You understand? It's more appealing to the older generation and then culturally it's more their thing. So the rise of churches that's basically bare young children and black British culture is more recent. I'll say maybe the last 10 years or something like that. It's been growing. And lots of children be leaving their parents' church and be joining these type of churches. Cool. Sounds good, looks good. Get me? Everyone's happy. Some parents would rather children stay with them, but cool, church is church. And then things start to escalate. And there's a few reasons why they escalate the way they do. and how they stand so strong in our community. So, number one, Black parenting, Black households, I will say, come across, seem to be a bit more harsher. The rules, the regulation, the communication style is a little bit more militant. And that comes from where our parents come from. That's how they were raised. So when they come here, they give birth to us. And that's how they raise us. Now, where they're coming from, 90% of people were raised that way. But where we're coming from, we got colleagues, we got bedrooms, we got people them around us that weren't raised that way. So we compare ourselves like, oof, your mum's easy, your mum's cool, your dad's, you get me? My dad, my mum, not. So we're living with that. That creates an emotional drift between us and our parents. Standard, I don't care what anyone says. We all grow up later on and become friendly with our parents and chat with them and we're cool and we brush away the past. But the truth is, there's a little something there. We don't talk about it. We don't really focus on it. Maybe one or two times you might try to bring it up. And even with that, most people try to do it on the joke. Like, oh my God, I remember when you beat me because you did this. I remember. It's not a laughing matter. But we've turned our trauma into a joke just so we can cope. And our parents are never going to come and apologize because to them, that's how it should be. That's the norm. So they're going about their business. If we want to overcome it, we are the ones who would have to address it. But we're not ready for that. Though we try to come across strong, developed, educated, not a lot of us are sitting down to have that type of chat with our parents about our childhood upbringing and things that we felt were whatever. Even if it's not to judge them, even if it's just to understand, most of us won't even sit down to have that conversation because we don't want to think about it no more. We're out of that era. I've survived it. I'm out of it. I don't want to look back. I don't want to talk about it. Let's move on. So we moved on and we're here. I bring up that point because your family setting is your first experience of belonging. And a lot of us struggle with that, feeling like we belong somewhere. Why? I've already talked about point one, the way we were raised at home and the differences in our community with our family culture. And then specifically with us here in the UK, Black Brits, though we are from where our parents are from, we're not really from there, if you understand. We're from there by blood, because our parents are from there. But we're not, we're from here. And then as we stand here, some of these men are telling us we're not from here. So we're in this like no man's land. So deep down, a majority of Black Brits don't have a true level of belonging. And then as Black Brits here, how much we have created our own belonging amongst each other, questionable. Maybe on ground, but if you look at the internet, you get what I mean? Black Brits, there's a lot of association with us that, we're stoosh, we're tied up, we're bad mind, all them type of stuff. I'm not saying it's absolutely true, but there's some truth to it. And it might not be because we want to be that way, but it just might be that's what our journey has kind of brought out from us, you understand? We're at home with our parents and we're getting a lot of control. Then we come out and then we have all these past, you know what I'm saying. So it brings out that darker side of us sometimes. And we were all beautiful, innocent children and we've all formed into this, whatever we are. Trying to find a place where we belong. And that's why gang culture is rife. And that's why church attendance is also rife. This church thing is generational. When our parents came, that's church boomed off here because it was more community. So I've come from here, Nigeria, Ghana, wherever, I've left my family, I'm all alone. Church is where I go to find people like me. Church is where I go to connect. Church is where I go to sustain my culture. Then they give birth to us and they take us along. But it's not really our thing, it's more their thing. But we still go, cool. And now it's kind of become our thing too, whether we like it or not. Some of us leave church and but it's still in our soul. It's part of our psyche. It's just how it is because we were raised that way. So our parents have already, see all this stuff that's happening with Spac. Our parents have already, you get me, they were the foreground of it. It started off based on community and connection, and then offerings and tithes and all that. And then over the years, we've all sat back and watched our parents give money to the church. Money, 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 money. Some more than others. Some in more worse situation than others. Some of us ones has just looked decent. Our parents can afford it. They're giving their tithes. They're giving their offering. There's nothing wrong with that. Some of you have seen, you get me? Your mum and dad go and give what they never had. And we've watched that. So a good percentage of those children, those youths, those people them in Spac, they witnessed them things there. So it's normal. You get me? It's just like, oh, okay. Now another thing about that, if you've witnessed that, that means there's a high chance your mum, dad was, kind of struggling. So that's why Spac hits so many points. Spac is the church and I'm going to say we as Black Brits or whatever, Spac is the church we've always prayed for. Putting aside their darkness, just how they are, the vibe, the energy, the young people. If you're from my era, this was a dream. The day you will see a church like Spac was a dream. And that's how people like me in my era have become victims of Spac from afar. Because Spac's not new. I've been hearing about Spac, being a bit like, not sure about that, don't sound good, blah, blah, blah. But it never really put fire up my bum the first time I heard about them. Because in my psyche, I was like, wow, this is beautiful to see. It was refreshing. It was relaxing. I was like, yeah, wow, this is sick. And then it started getting darker and darker and darker. And you're thinking, yo, hold on. This was lit in the beginning. And now it's turning into something else. So Spac hits the dream thing. Spac hits the belonging gap, that hole. It hits it there. Yeah, it hits that avenue. And then Spac hits our financial deprivation side. You see the video with what's her name, Mariam, whatever. She's saying, oh, yeah, my parents or whatever never had PO. I don't mind coming. A good, decent percentage of us, our parents weren't splashing. And if they were, sometimes they were splashing to the church. So when Spac comes and says, look, I can take you out of that. You don't need to be like your mum and your dad struggling. I can help you. Do you know how many angles Spac are hitting in people's psyche? Do you know how many? Hey, listen. If I wasn't a bit, listen, if Spac came about any sooner than they came about, I would have been in their standard. Spac came at a time where I had you get woke up, seen something, whatever. It looks good, but I ain't joining. I like that idea, but I ain't going. If they had come out any sooner than they did, or if I had heard about them any sooner than they did, I would have been in there. Just like the rest. Just like the rest. Just like the rest, guys. Now, before I move on, I'm going to touch on something, like I said, about the black household and sometimes the harshness of it, the brutality of it. I'm going to share this. I know older people watch, elderly people watch my videos too. So this goes for you, but it also goes for people in my era, and then people younger than me who later on will be in this position. If you can, at all costs, avoid and do not lay your hands on your children. I repeat, at all costs, if you can, do not lay your hands on your children in a violent way. It is unacceptable. It is unacceptable. Unacceptable. Use this. Use your mouth. Life and death is in the power of the tongue. The only time you should lay your hands on your youth, is the time where your youth themselves should say, I totally understand why my mom and dad did that. What I did just there, nothing else was warranted but a 2-2 slap. Your child should be able to say, Mom, Dad, I understand because I crossed it too much. But here, pop, 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 anyhow. Separate even from the licks, just the aggression of the tone, asking for something simple. Can't say please, can't say thank you. That's all evilness. That energy is low. That's dark. That's dark. Children, we're so sensitive. We're so sensitive. That is too dark for us to take when we're young and growing that. Too dark. No way. No way. No way. Even with a child, you're playing, you're laughing with it, all these things. It's tiring. But even with that, you still even have to be... Listen, children, we are so sensitive. Don't play with us. And if you've already played with us, go and have a chat with your youth. Because most of our things stem from that. Most of them youths that you see there in Spac, sit down and hear their history. Sit down and hear their story. Like, why did you come here? Why are you here? You got your mom and dad, like, why are you here? Same reason why man joined gang. It's just that they said, let me go for that. And then some of them joined the gang, realize, Spac's offering even more. That's why there's a lot of gang members in Spac. They're still on the same search. They're just looking for it in a different place. But it's the same thing. It's the same thing. Most of them youths there, if you go there and ask them their story, they've been on some bad thing. They've been on a bad thing. I'm telling you. They've been on a bad thing. Guys. Boy. So I just need to calm down, man. Now, let's come to take another swing. Now, what I'm going to say next, now I'm coming to talk to the black church. The black church. That's the type of churches I go to. I don't know about other races' church, so I can't talk about other races and their church. Yeah? The black church. Black British church. I'm going to say a couple things. First thing I'm going to say is not entirely true, bit controversial, but from where I'm standing is what I'm seeing. Because of the situation that the Black Brits identity is in, if you notice a lot of these churches that move these ways that Spack Nation is moving, they're never led by like another Black Brit. They're always by some pastor who's come from over the water, from Africa somewhere. He knows where he's coming from. He knows where he belongs. He got his people. They watch us, they see the gap in us. They laugh at us. Sometimes you even hear it. You lot, you UK lot, you London lot. They be making jokes about us. Then they come, open a church, gather us all in, and take us for a ride. Take us for a ride. And see us were valuable. So they like to use our skill. They like to use our source. That's why Mr. Toby be bouncing around and trying to mix with a certain Black Brit artists and influencers. You think it's for no reason? You think it's for no reason? Us, what we carry, unless we wake up, our skin and our accent joint together is cash. It's cash. Everybody wants it. But we don't charge for it. We don't manage it. Not we're just there. Them man come. Them man come and they be using us. They be using us, coming like father figures, offering us that thing. Because most of us, you get me, the things with our daddies, and that's both boys and girls. Some of us, your dad's not there totally. Some of us, the dad's there, but the way he's moving is, might as well not be. Can't chat to him, and all these things. Then you have fellas like Mr. Toby and all that come true. Swaggy, peas, everything that you even wish your dad was. You see, all that, you get me, they're just, gone. These ones. So they're fulfilling a dream, a gap, and they're just feeding it down our throats. And we're like, yeah, give it to me. Give it to me. I want it. That's what I want. I want that dream. I want that image. Because we're image. That's another thing about us. Image. Hey! And we will judge each other on it. Oh, thing. That's why when I come on the screen, I don't dress up for nobody, blood. I come when I'm ready to shoot. What I'm on that time is how you lot are gonna see me. Unless I'm wearing something that's like you just can't come on the internet. That boom, I put on something else, but I don't do no more than that. No makeup, nothing. When you come here, you're coming here to hear what I've got to say. There's nothing else to see here. No breasts, no beauty, nothing flashy going on here, blood. Nothing. It's not about that. It's not about that. The lighting that I've got, any lighting makes my face. I see it. Blemishes, whatever, dark eyes, whatever. I don't care. There's no distractions here. We're not coming for image. There's no levels here. There's no competition here. Unless you can chat to me, we're not competing on carnal things or materialistic things. No. That's how you get sweet. That's how you get tempted. That's how you get lured. I've been there. I've been there. Let me tell you something. Every video I make, guys, I've been there. I don't make videos on every single current topic. The ones I do them on, I'm telling you, I've been there. If you don't know, go and watch my playlist, 10 Ways I Ruined My Life. I've been there. ZZ Mills, I've been there. Sasha, I've been there. Ambush, been there. Been there. Guys. So, we always go on about the black pound and, you know, if we want these men to respect us, you know, we got to boycott this thing or, you know, put our money into like black businesses and all that. And that's true. But let me tell you where the real change will be and why that is impactful to a degree, but it won't take us to where we truly need to be. The black church is like the black pound, greater than the black pound. If we want to reset in our black community, it is the church that we have to go deal with. It is the church, not the money. That's for them, man. Leave them to it. If we want any sort of hope in our heads, in our hearts, in our souls, it's governed by the black church. It's governed by the black church. All our minds. That's what governs all of us, whether we go church on Sunday or not. Because if your mother goes, when she talks to you, she's talking to you with that filter. So whatever you hear from your parents, which is so impactful, you're hearing the church. The church is what governs us from afar. Spac. Remember I told you in my other videos, if there's an issue with one, it shows you, it reflects the issue amongst all. So the way Spac is moving, I've already shown you, the way Spac is moving, there's many other churches that people have suffered abuse and all these type of things. If you lot are there, you lot need to come out too. Because when it's just Spac, it goes up, then it goes down. It goes, it gets a bit of a buzz, and then it drops. But if it's the whole church, black, white, any race, church members rising up saying, yo, this is going on, then we're going to see the change. Let me tell you, if I make a petition now, and I tell you, look, go and take this petition to your pastors and tell them this petition is for us to revoke Spack Nation to a degree where, you get me, proper, fully, they're not allowed to operate in any way. You will see how many of your pastors will sign that. You'll be shocked. They will give you the sweetest reason as to why they will not sign it. Another thing, some may sign, but you will see the ones that will say, put me as anonymous or put my name. And you know what? most of you, if that petition existed, you won't even take it to your pastor, because from where you're sitting right now, listening to my voice, you already know, yeah, my man ain't gonna sign it. So let me not embarrass him and let me not embarrass myself, because that's what you'll be doing. Because when your pastor doesn't sign and he's showing you what he's on, and you pick yourself up and go to his church next Sunday, the Sunday after, and the Sunday after, you're now an associated scumbag, because you already know what he's on and you're still following like sheep. If we want true change, I'm spelling it out to you lot raw, that's where you've got hit. That's where you've got hit. Because you see, church, the older generation, the black, they don't play with church. So if you start ramping with church, they'll fix up. They'll fix up. Because they don't play with God. They don't play with church. They don't want that tarnish. They don't want that, hey, no. Many years ago, when I was at uni, I had to do a dissertation. Obviously, we all do. I can't remember why, but I decided to do my dissertation on cults. Funny enough, here we are today. I decided to do my dissertation on cults. And I remember when I was doing my research, I came across this quote that was so powerful. The quote said, so I just had to make sure my mic's on. The quote said, and I'm not going to quote it accurately, which will be a shame, because wording and placement of wording is so important. The way it's the words used and the position of them, the sequence of them, it has an impact in the way that you receive it and the way it hits you. So it's a shame I can't quote it for it to hit you the way it hit me, but I'll just give you the general. It says, blah, 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 blah. Human beings have a desire to be controlled. I'll repeat that. Human beings have the desire to be controlled. When they are not controlled, they feel lost. That's why the government has been so prominent, regardless of the madness. And it's like, whoa, we need a leader. Whoa, we need someone to control this. Whoa, don't leave me to it. Our ability to be like, yo, I can handle this. I got this. I can manage my life. Is stripped away from young. Stripped. See, my boy? One thing you always need to teach your youth them, responsibility from early. He's a little boy. He's in his 1 digits. He can barely talk. I give him responsibilities. In the morning when he wakes up, he's in charge of opening the curtains, let the lights get in. Open the curtains of the house. Another thing is, he's got to help me out the bed. He cannot get me out the bed. You understand? But that's not what it's about. It's about stepping out of yourself, taking care of someone, knowing you have the power to do that and to help. He holds my hand, he helps me get out. And I don't just fling out, I make him feel like he's really pulling me. He knows this is my duty to get mommy out of bed so she can start her day. Many other things that I do, but I'm just giving you a little tip. I'm showing him from young. Yes, I'm your mother. Don't let me control you, because I will. I can guide you, tell you what's right, what's wrong, what to do, but have a voice, have a mind of your own if something's not right, because I'm not perfect. So if you let me control you, you have to be able to say, Mum, hold on. But from young, Mum, Dad, so we don't have that, autonomy. We lose that a bit. We lose that ability to, and then we just want someone to control us. It doesn't look like it. Obviously, if they start controlling us in a nasty way, we can see it for years and we're like, whoa, calm down. But even in a relationship, okay, I'm going to get with you because you get me, you're balanced, you know how to organize things. So I like to just follow along behind you. You understand? Some people leave their parents' home, going out into the big wide world, back into their mum and dad's house. Some people are in bad situations, but the fact that it means I'll be alone, they're like, no, I'm going to stay. So you guys get what I'm saying. I'll tell you this. There was a time I was low. I was like, oh, my life, man. And there was this pastor, some lady. She was about doing her thing. And she was very impressionable on me. I was like, oh, wow, she's amazing. She's doing her thing. She looks great. All them things. So I sat down. I remember one day saying to myself, because I remember going to some of her events and seeing that she had a lot of women entourage around her, doing this, doing that, sorting things out, rolling with her, holding her Bible, all them things that they do at church now. So when I hit a low point, I remember saying to myself, should I go and follow this woman, basically? Like whether that's live in a bit like what Spac do, live in a house they give you, serve them, carry their Bible, sort out stuff, because my life in my eyes at that point, I had nothing to give. I was just, I'm just here. So let me go to somebody else to give me a sense of identity. Let me go and find a place to belong. I remember talking to my cousin about it. And she's a proper hardcore church girl. She was like, hey, no. And I was shocked. I was like, well, I thought she was going to encourage it. Like, yeah, go for it. You get me? She was like, no. And it kind of woke me up. That's when I realized, actually, hold on. Maybe my brain's getting really fuzzy here. And I never went. But I was ready to go. So when I tell you that I would have been in Spac, was it any sooner? I mean it when I say it. Like I said, all my videos, there's a reason why I do them. I've been there. I remember being at the train station, meeting a gentleman, a random guy. We got talking and he was like, he had some baby mother issues. His life was difficult. So we started chatting about that. Switched numbers, became friends, whatever. This time I was on the church thing. So, and I was going to 1 or 2 churches where these prophets are and stuff like that. So I said, come along with me, man. You get some prayers and whatever. He was like, all right, cool, whatever, I'll come along. We get there, then the prophet's doing fundraising, asking for money, blah, 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 blah. And I noticed that the guy I brought with, his energy had kind of changed. I was like, but service is going on, so we just focused. But at the end of the service, guys, the way this guy asked me, he was like, nah, it's not right. The way he's asking for money like that shouldn't be. And I remember like, yeah, calm down. And I also remember something in me thinking, this guy's not wrong. But I was already so brainwashed. I was just in it, so I wasn't seeing it. You get me? But no, it wasn't his words. It was his reaction, his response. It was too real. It was raw. It was from his heart. And I realized this guy shouldn't care that much about this. So you get me? Like, I've invited you here, but the passion made me know, pay attention. Pay attention. After that, this guy, he didn't even want to talk to me again. And then you know how church is. If someone's not on board, you kind of demonize them. So I was a bit like, oh, him anyway, whatever. So I never went to continue the relationship. But years later, he came to my head and I was like, that guy said something to me. I should have listened to that guy, because that same pastor that this guy was complaining to me about, they get you in a certain position and you end up raising your hand. So I went to go and raise my hand for 200 quid. 200 quid that at that time I did not have. Guys, I think it was my younger sibling, if I can remember. And I went and took money from my younger brother. I think maybe I went and got £100 from my sister. I can't remember. So that shows you the bad position I'm in. I've gone and put my hand up for 200 quid. And that's the older sister. I don't even have it. I've gone to my younger siblings to get it. And I remember the moment standing there chatting to my brother, trying to explain to him. I was like, bro, I went to this church thing and the prophet, he said this bit. And when he said that bit, connected with it, I think it's worth the seed, I promise, bro, like, help me with this thing. Let me sow the seed. I know I'm going to see it one day. How many years later, I ain't seen jack? I don't want to swear. I ain't seen jack. I ain't seen a thing. I ain't seen a thing. Guys, I've been there. I'm not talking lightly. Now, let me move on to the last bit. All this essay that we're hearing, Spac. There's levels to it. We heard the money thing. We heard a pastor trying to make a youth suck his ting. Spack, don't make us move. Don't make us move, because we'll move. We're looking for something to do. Don't make us move on you. Don't make us move on you, Spack. Don't make us move on you. Don't make us move on you, brother. Laying your hands on gal. 2 of you. Aye! 2! You lot are demon possessed. I can see in your photos. And you're high. You lot get high. You lot are filthy. You lot are banging each other. You can see it. Disgusting, filthy, corrupt. You can see it. You lot are sick. You lot need help. The ones higher up, they're the ones that they're the sick. They're the ones that need psychological support, therapy. Them lot up there. Right, how long have I been going? Guys, listen, there's so much I can say, yeah. My last message is to the victims, yeah. It's now or never. Don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. Be bold, be strong, for the Lord thy God is with you. Do not be afraid. Do not be afraid. Do not be dismayed. Walk in faith, walk in victory, for the Lord thy God is with you. All right, cool. Let's leave it there.